Now, some of Australia's most talented performers, including Tom Burlinson and Natalie Bassingthwaighte and Casey Donovan, will be starring in the multi-award-winning record-breaking musical Chicago.
Yes, they will. And it's set in jazz-age Chicago. The musical is actually based on a 1926 play by reporter Maureen Dallas Watkins about actual criminals and crimes that she reported on. And I had the great pleasure of interviewing some of the cast earlier this week.
Oh my God, there's a whole bunch of reporters.
Oh, media, oh no.
Is everybody here? Is everybody ready? Hit it.
And having the orchestra on stage, I mean, nothing beats that. A lot of the time the orchestra is in the pit, and so there's a real ambience on stage, and it's electric, so it travels all the way through the theatre.
It's a night of toe-tapping fun and razzle-dazzle.
Billy's whole thing is the razzle-dazzle. He says things like, "It's all a circus, kid."
Playing Mama Morton in Chicago is absolutely amazing. I love it. She's such a great character. She's sassy, she's fun, she's classy, and she is very assertive and doesn't take any BS.
She's strong, she's sassy, she's funny, and she's a force to be reckoned with. So I think that coming out for all that jazz with the band playing and the entire ensemble, who is incredible, is just an electric dream.
And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down.
Roxy's always been a dream of mine to play. I think because there are so many layers to Roxy, you know, everyone thinks she's just kind of the ditzy blonde, but for me, being able to draw on her childhood and her strengths and her weaknesses and her loves and her likes, her love for Amos, I think really shines through in this piece, and yeah, her authenticity is, so I adore everything that I get to play with her. She's a real dream come true.
Well, I remember seeing it when I was 16, and this is probably one of the roles I've always dreamed to play, and it was all the training. Like, there's nothing about, they say to master something, you've got to do 10,000 hours of it. So I would say that training your butt off is probably the way to get there, and just observing and learning, taking everything in, doing all your classes, singing, acting, dancing. It's all part and parcel.
Don't ever feel you're good enough. You know, you can always get better no matter where you're at in your career, I think, is to keep striving for that next level. Be a good team player, enjoy the process, work well with other people, and be passionate. I think that's the biggest thing, is love what you do and reach for the stars, I say. You do sort of fall in love with all the characters, where I think in the past perhaps it has just been really showy. You still get all that, but there's just whole other layers to it that is really beautiful. So funny and quirky and silly.
Sassy.
The last note of When You're Good to Mama is a belter. It was very early this morning, but, we get through it, and I love doing it every night. It's just, it's ballsy, and it's got a lot of mama in it, so it's really, really good.
When I graduated from WAPA, that's when I discovered Chicago, and it was instantly one of my favourite musicals. Back in those days, you carried your cassettes in the car, and I had all my Pink Floyd records and my ACD records, and I had the Broadway original cast of Chicago in my car. It's a great driving soundtrack, and I've sort of coveted this show for a very, very long time. So to be here it's ridiculous to say, but a dream come true. And being around this long, I don't have many dreams left, but this really is a dream come true to play this show, this set with this company. It's a real thrill.
8 shows a week is definitely a challenge, and I think you've got to sort of get into a routine where you are ready to do that. And it's, when you eat, when you rest, being prepared to do what's required. We have to remember that we may have done it 8 times this week, but for the people out there, it's the first time they're hearing it, the first time they're experiencing it. And if you have faith in the product, which I think we all do, then we just really want to share that. The choreographer from overseas has said to me at times, a little Frank, bring a little Frank in.